The extraordinary journey of John D. Rockefeller begins not with privilege, but with the stark reality of poverty. Born in 1839, his early life was far from the gilded halls of power he would later command. He was the son of a notorious con man, William Avery Rockefeller, known as Devil Bill, a man who lied, cheated, and frequently vanished, leaving his family in destitution. John's father once famously advised him, "John, cheat before you get cheated." This twisted lesson, instead of corrupting him, hardened his resolve. Young John observed his father's deceptions with a terrifying silence, silently vowing to never be weak, never to depend on anyone. His mother, Eliza Davidson Rockefeller, was his moral compass. A strict, religious woman, she instilled in him the values of hard work, frugality, and self-control. Willful waste brings willful want, she taught, making him account for every penny, learning the harsh reality of earning money 1 cent at a time. While other children played, John meticulously recorded every coin, every expense, and every dream in a small notebook. People noted his quiet intensity, his unnerving calm. "That boy," they would say, "there's something scary about his calm." At 14, with his father increasingly absent, John became the man of the house, supporting his mother and siblings. He took on odd jobs, raising turkeys, selling potatoes and candy, saving every penny. He had a colossal dream for a poor farm boy to make 100,000 and live for 100 years. This dream, however, was anchored by unwavering discipline. At 16, in 1855, he walked into Cleveland City seeking work. After more than 15 rejections, he finally secured a position as a bookkeeper at Wheat and Tuttle, commission merchants. He called this Job Day, celebrating it annually. He worked with military precision, arriving before sunrise and leaving after sunset, mastering every detail of bookkeeping. He believed God had blessed him with money because he was careful with it. By 20, he had saved Warzarzozan a substantial sum and cultivated a mind sharper than men twice his age. Rockefeller felt a deeper calling than just a salary. He yearned for control to build something permanent. Then came oil. In the 1850s, rock oil was a messy, smelly nuisance. But in 1859, Edwin Drake's first successful oil well in Pennsylvania sparked a revolution. Oil could be refined into kerosene, bringing light to a world without electricity. Rockefeller saw not just light, but unparalleled opportunity. In 1863, at 24, he partnered with chemist Samuel Andrews, forming Clark Andrews and Company to refine oil. His partners, the impulsive Clark brothers, clashed with Rockefeller's meticulous, long-term vision. At 25, Rockefeller made a bold move, buying them out for $72,500. His company, now Rockefeller and Andrews, was his alone. Soon, it would become the most feared name in oil. Rockefeller was a different breed of businessman. While others shouted, he whispered, they guessed, he calculated, they took risks, he systematically removed them. He obsessed over efficiency, using every barrel of oil completely, even finding uses for the discarded gasoline. His two secret weapons, efficiency and an unwavering belief in systems, not luck, underpinned by daily Bible study. In 1870, he founded Standard Oil Company. The name, Standard, reflected his mission to create a product of consistent quality, safe, clean, and affordable kerosene in an era of dangerous, unreliable alternatives. Standard Oil quickly became indispensable, but success bred enemies. Small oil companies tried to compete. Rockefeller didn't engage in shouting matches. He simply cut his prices lower until competitors collapsed, then quietly acquired them. His Rockefeller method was simple: you can sell to us now, or we will drive you out later. The legend of his ruthlessness grew with the Cleveland Massacre of 1872. Through secret deals with railroads, securing massive discounts for his bulk shipments, Rockefeller made his oil cheaper to transport than anyone else's. Competitors screamed, but couldn't stop him. Within months, he bought out 22 of Cleveland's 26 refineries. It was a surgical, silent domination. This immense power came from a man who never partied, gambled, or wasted time. He ate simple meals, avoided the media, and focused with laser-like intensity. Do not many of us who fail to achieve big things fail because we lack concentration? The art of concentrating the mind on the thing to be done at the proper time and to the exclusion of everything else. He once mused. He surrounded himself with brilliant, loyal, silent men building a vast oil trust that moved like shadows, quietly taking over America. By the late 1870s, Rockefeller's silent accumulation of power became too vast to ignore. People began to question, who was this man? Was he building a monopoly? The public, government, and media grew uneasy. Newspapers dubbed him the Oil King, the Octopus, the silent killer of competition. He had everything, but now he had powerful enemies. The first significant attack came from journalist Ida Tarbell, whose own father's oil business had been crushed by Rockefeller. Her 1904 book, The History of the Standard Oil Company, was an explosive expose revealing secret railroad deals, price wars, and coercive tactics. Miss it. Rockefeller has systematically played with loaded dice. She declared, exposing him as the face of corporate greed. With Standard Oil controlling over 90% of America's oil business, the U.S. government finally acted. The Sherman Antitrust Act of 1890, designed to curb monopolies, was unleashed. By 1906, the goal was clear: break Standard Oil. Rockefeller, true to form, remained silent, letting his lawyers handle the public battle while he quietly prepared his empire for war. He had built a labyrinthine structure of subsidiaries and holding companies, making it incredibly difficult for the government to untangle. In May 1911, the U.S. Supreme Court delivered its verdict. Standard Oil was an illegal monopoly and must be broken into 34 smaller companies, including Exxon, Mobil, Chevron, and Amoco. It seemed like a defeat, but Rockefeller, who owned shares in all these new entities, saw their individual stock values skyrocket. He emerged from the defeat even richer. Some say his wealth doubled. After the breakup, Rockefeller, now an old man, finally became visible. Public reaction was mixed. Some hailed him as a capitalist hero, others as a ruthless robber baron. But no one could ignore him. Instead of fighting, he began to give away his fortune. Systematically, quietly, he donated millions to universities, medical research, black colleges, and scientific discoveries. He established the Rockefeller Foundation, a global philanthropic powerhouse that still exists today, funding vaccines, education, and public health worldwide. God gave me my money, he said, but it is my duty to use it wisely to help humanity. The boy who counted pennies was now giving away billions. His private life, like his business, was built on discipline and unwavering values. He was married to Laura Celestia Setti, Spellman, for over 50 years. Their marriage was not one of public romance, but of deep respect, shared faith, and mutual purpose. Laura, firm and moral, managed the household with intelligence, ensuring their children remained humble. God gave you money, she constantly reminded John, but it's not yours to waste. John, in his quiet way, loved her deeply, trusting her judgment and praying with her daily. After her death in 1915, he never remarried, often found sitting alone in his garden rereading her letters. They had 5 children, 4 of whom survived. Elizabeth, his gentle firstborn, reminded him of his mother. Alice died young, leaving a deep scar. Alla, intelligent and graceful, supported women's education. Edith, elegant and rebellious, became a powerful figure in Chicago society. And John D. Rockefeller Jr., the son who would carry the legacy. Jr. was trained like a soldier, taught to save, pray, and give back. From sweeping floors at Standard Oil to building Rockefeller Center and funding national parks, Jr. continued his father's mission, ensuring the dynasty's purpose. In retirement, Rockefeller lived simply on his estate, Kekute. He woke early, read the Bible, walked his gardens, and ate humble meals. He wrote letters of gratitude and famously gave dimes to children, teaching them the value of money. By 1913, his personal charity evolved into the Rockefeller Foundation, which eradicated hookworm, funded major vaccines, and supported countless schools and research centers globally. By his death, he had donated over $500 million, equivalent to more than $10 billion to today. Making money is a gift, he believed. Giving it wisely is a responsibility. As he aged, he reflected not on headlines or boardrooms, but on purpose. He advised his grandchildren to avoid pride, love silence, believe in God, and use money as a tool, not a goal. In May 1937, at 98 years old in his quiet Florida home, John D. Rockefeller took his final breath. He had outlived his wife, most competitors, and even some of his children. His net worth at death, adjusted for today's GDP, was over $400 billion, more than any person alive today. He once controlled 1.5% of the U.S. economy, an unprecedented level of influence. Yet, he desired a simple Christian service, buried under a plain headstone, John D. Rockefeller, 1837-1937, no title, no ego, just a name. His legacy is not merely oil or money, but a blueprint for ambition, discipline, faith, and enduring impact. He redefined what was possible, proving that discipline trumps talent, silence is a superpower, and pain can be fuel. He gave more than anyone in history, systematically solving global problems. He created a dynasty built on purpose, not chaos, with generations still serving humanity. And he taught the world the profound power of stillness, leaving a legacy that moves the world forever. 7 life lessons from John D. Rockefeller. Start small but stay focused. Discipline is more powerful than talent. Silence is a superpower. Use your pain as fuel. Control your time and your money. Give more than you take. Build something that outlives you. This was the journey of a man who started with nothing and ended with everything, leaving a roadmap for anyone serious about success. Learn like him, think like him, and live like him, and you too can become unstoppable.